everybody, I'm Rowberry, your independent Scentsy consultant. Welcome back to my channel. It is time for another Q&A with you guys. This is just a sit down and chit chat kind of video, although I do have things to share. I do have things to actually share and show you, but in case you are newer to my channel, hello and welcome. We have recently started doing this little Q&A session. I am a complete open book, so if there's any questions that you want to ask me, feel free to either leave them in the comments of this video, or you can always email them into me at lmrowberry@gmail.com, and then I will answer them in the next one. So I have no real schedule for the Q&As just yet. I'm just kind of basing it on how you guys are liking them. So thank you so much for the positive comments and just for the support. I'm so glad you guys are liking this. When we first started doing these Q&As, I was like, I don't think anybody's gonna want to know anything. So the fact that you guys are asking questions, it means a lot to me. So thank you so much. Before we dive into the questions, I will just let you know, I know you can see Ranger here, but it is a full-on Rowberry dog party up in here because we've got Zozo in the back too. She is like, she's here for it. Sean is actually out of town this weekend. So since the routine is thrown off, they're just like extra like sticky to me. They're just like, I get up to just walk down the hall and they're like, where are we going? What are we doing? Like, what are we doing, Mom? What's going on? You know, I'm still walking them in the morning, but just not having Sean here just really like throws things off, even though they see me every single day, but it just throws them off. So that's why they're a little extra sticky today. So I will just put that out there in case you see them moving around, or if they're gonna be moaning and groaning, that's just the name of the game that we're gonna play today. So let's go ahead and get started with the first question. So this one, love the Q&A chat sessions. Would love to hear more in-depth timeline of your Scentsy journey. When did you start getting more serious with Scentsy and start feeling like you could actually make it your job? So my Scentsy journey, and I think this is true for anybody who has joined Scentsy, it kind of had phases or chapters, if you will. So for those of you who don't know, I have shared my story a couple of times on my channel. This is definitely not how I was expecting any of this to look. I joined purely for myself. I didn't want to sell. I honestly didn't even want my friends knowing that I joined, because I didn't want anybody asking me to do a party. I just solely joined because I knew I was going to buy the products anyway. I was having parties with my girlfriend pretty much every few months because there was a scent warmer of the month I really liked. I was like, perfect, let me invite some girlfriends over. We'll have a wine night and it'll be great. So I just thought, you know, I'm going to be buying it anyway, so I may as well have my own testers. I knew my mom was going to purchase as well. So I was like, my mom and I alone can keep us like active. So I was like, that's what I'm going to do. So that's why I joined. And then I don't know, after, I don't even know that it was months, but my friends found out. So, cause I thought, well, I still want to do my like wine nights and like sip and sniffs. So I was like, whatever, you know, it's fine. So they found out. It was and it was great. And so I got to have my own parties, and it was wonderful. And then I would say it was probably about a year in that I still didn't want, I was happy with having this be my hobby, not even like a side hustle. Like it was just strictly a hobby. And my girlfriend was like, I think I want to join. And I'm like, good for you. Join under Sarah, who is my now star director. My friend who I had signed up under actually went inactive fairly close to after I joined. I mean, it was within the first year. She wound up going inactive. It just wasn't for her. And so I rolled up to her sponsor, which it's a small world, whatever. We all went to high school together. We didn't know each other super well in high school, but we knew of each other, so it was fine. So I was telling my girlfriend Allison, I was like, no, don't join me. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know how to lead a team. I was like, go join under Sarah because I have no idea what I'm doing. And she's like, no, I'm joining under you. I'm just like, no. She joined under me. Even though I told her not to, she joined under me. And you know what? It was really fun because I don't view this as I am your leader. Like that's not how I view this. To this day, I still don't view it that way. This is a journey that we're all experiencing together. And so when she joined, I was like, okay, well, I guess we'll just kind of we'll roll with it. And at that point I had already been on for a year, so I knew like the basics, but I didn't know if she was wanting this to be a business. I was like, listen, I'm not the one. She's like, no, we're gonna figure this out together. So that was super fun. So it was, as she joined, and I'm so glad she did, because it really opened my eyes to having a team isn't scary. It's really that you are experiencing this journey with your friends, and it's a blast. So that happened about a year in, and I was like, wow, you know, like I said, building a team isn't so scary after all, you know. And so then it kind of started to open my eyes a little bit, but it wasn't until 3 years in. So I joined in 2014. 14, 15, 16. So 3 years in, I attended my first Scentsy event. And even at that, I didn't want to go. I was like, I'm not going to spend extra money. I am not going to take time off of work, because I was working full time in dentistry. I was like, you know, if it works out, it works out. But, you know, I'm not going to like really try hard to go to a Scentsy event, because I'm happy and I'm content with where I'm at in my business. And, Sarah, who is my upline, she had let me know her kids were sick, and so her husband couldn't attend, and she already had the tickets. So she was like, hey, do you want to come? It was on a Saturday, and it was at the time World Premiere. Now it's called World Tour, which is our like springtime convention. And she had asked me, she had said, hey, you know, Mike can't go, so do you want to go in his place? And I was like, well, how much is it? And don't get me wrong, I love Scentsy, so I wasn't like, ugh, but it was just that I didn't want to drink the Kool-Aid, if that makes sense. Because you hear about and you see, and you still see this from time to time, like the MLMs, like I was still kind of anti-MLM. I wanted to do this on my own terms, and I still do. But so I was like, I don't want to drink the Kool-Aid. That's not me. Like, I don't want to be like, join my team, you know. I wanted to make sure I was as authentic to who I am as possible. So, but it did intrigue me, because I knew we'd get some sneak peeks and things like that. And so she was like, you know, do you want to go? And I asked her how much it was. She said, no, don't worry about it. Like, since I'm going to lose the ticket anyway, because he can't go. So it was a Saturday, and I was like, all right, I'll go. And that was the day that it completely changed my vision. It completely changed my vision. I am still staying as authentic to who I am as possible. And that's the beautiful thing about this business. This can look a million different ways. But I really was able to see the camaraderie at that event. There was like this energy and this high that was in there, and everyone was so nice, and I could really see how people could make this a business. And I was just like, man, that's amazing. Like, people can actually make this it's home fragrance. I'm like, you can make this a business? And so I wasn't sure at that point, like I knew I wanted to take it more seriously, but I didn't see myself quitting my dental job. I didn't. I was like, no, you know, I do want to take it more seriously, but I don't see that happening. But then it kept growing and evolving, and it is what it is today. And now I've been doing this full time for 2 years, I believe. So it's been amazing. So I am so insanely grateful for this opportunity. And for those of you who do support me, I'm so insanely thankful and grateful, because without my customers, I wouldn't be able to do this full time. So, oh my gosh, this is going to be so long, you guys. We're already like 9 minutes in. I was like, I'm going to try to keep this as concise as possible. Let's see here. So my friend Chris asks, I'm not sure if you've done this before, but can you make a video of a day in the life? I think it'd be neat. So I think, you know, my husband and I, we do weekend vlogs. That's not really like a typical like work day in the life, but since Sean is gone this weekend, I'm still vlogging this weekend. So this weekend you may actually get, which this vlog that I record this weekend will go up next weekend. So you may get a little bit more in tune of like a day in the life of me. I don't know that it's going to be that interesting because my days start really super early. I'm on the computer most of it. I'm packing up orders, you know, things like that. So I don't know how entertaining it would be, but I can see if I can like make it entertaining to watch. So yeah, so I'll think about if I can make it entertaining, and then we'll see. Okay, so this is from my friend Angela, and she said, what are your top 10 powerhouse scents, Lisa? So I just picked, and I don't know, and this is from 2 weeks ago. So, and I don't know if you're just asking top 10 scents period, top 10 powerhouse scents period, or that's currently available. I am going to go through and do a scent strength series for the current catalog. So if you're wanting to know what's, you know, current, definitely stay tuned for that. I am working my way through all of the like new releases and stuff. I'm pretty much there. So that series should be coming up here shortly. So I just wanted to be able to try out everything so I can give you my honest opinion. So I'm just going off of top 10 ever powerhouse scents. So for me, not in any necessarily particular order, except for the top, like, well, it's so hard to choose. Not in any particular order. Number one, if you guys know me, Simply Vanilla. Simply Vanilla is my go-to. I love it. I know that's not like super exciting, but it's a beautiful scent. Sweet Plum Pastry, of course, had to make my list. Huckleberry Sage. Huckleberry Sage was actually my very first Scentsy Heartbreak. That was a scent that came back like honey pear cider, came back every single fall and winter season. And at the time, we didn't have Scentsy Club. So there was no always get my bar at that time. But I remember getting my new catalogs and flipping through and not seeing Huckleberry Sage. And I just thought there has to be a misprint. Huckleberry Sage comes back every single season. And it didn't come back. And I was so sad. So that has to make my list. I believe that's actually one of the ones that's coming back this coming January. So if you haven't had a chance to try it, try it. It's a beautiful scent. Very Peri Pumpkin. Oh, you guys, if this ever comes back. I know I have at least one bar left. I'm savoring it. Very Peri Pumpkin has to make my list. And of course, Dumbo has to make my list. The Dumbo inspired scent, Circus Parade, absolutely has to make my top 10. Skinny Dippin', more of a summery scent, but definitely has to make my list. Strawberry Rose has to make my list. Arctic Kiss, nobody's surprised. Cherry Almond Pie, you want to talk about powerhouse? Cherry Almond Pie, it's a good one. It's amazing. And that one is actually coming back and bring back my bar. And so is Mandarin Moon, which is also on my top 10. So Cherry Almond Pie is coming back. I believe Huckleberry Sage is coming back and Mandarin Moon is coming back. Those three are fantastic. And they had to make my list. So that's top 10. I hope I understood that question correctly. So, okay, so I hope that helps. Let me see here. So from my friend Stephanie here, do you find bricks aren't as strong as smaller clamshells? I love a good brick, but the strength seems different. So as soon as you get your brick, are you automatically cutting it up and putting it into your warmer, like as soon as you get it? Because if it is freshly poured, the oils may need some time to cure. So maybe let it sit for a week or 2 weeks. Typically, if you let your bricks sit a little bit longer, because they are all hand poured, which is different from the bars. The bars are poured by a machine, and the bricks are all poured by hand. I don't think that has anything to do with it, except for the fact that I believe that the bricks might be a little bit fresher. So I would maybe give the oils a chance to cure a little bit, and then give it a try and see if that helps. But it's supposed to be, it's the same exact wax, so it's just poured differently, and obviously much larger size. Okay, from our friend Vicky. Hi, Vicky. She says, I too am in California. I'm sorry. It's so funny. Everybody's posting their like first day of fall pictures, and I'm like, it's 100 degrees. I'm happy that at least where I'm at, it'd be better in Southern California, but Northern California, it's like 100 degrees in the afternoon, and then it does drop down to like the 50s in the evening. So it's nice. And since we have a whole house fan, we'll like suck in all that cold air in the morning and then shut all the windows when it starts to warm up. But I am waiting for some cooler fall weather. And that's what she says. It's been hot for months. Question: I've stored my wax, scent packs, pods, and circles in the coolest part of my house. This area has worked well in the past when it wasn't 1,000,000 degrees every day. I a few months ago noticed some of the wax was sweating when I opened the clamshell. So I don't think they haven't. Okay. Home Office hasn't said that there was any formulation change, but I think there must be. I'm still getting the same performance, so I'm happy with that. That's why I'm not like throwing a fit. But I have noticed that this year mostly, I'm trying to think if it started last year, that my bars were getting sweatier earlier. And it depends on the bar too, because I have some bars that will never sweat. They will never ever sweat. Maybe I should show you what that looks like. Do I have any of these that are sweating? Like Rainbow Sherbet is like notorious for sweating. Let me see. So in case you're wondering what I'm talking about when it comes to sweating, by the way, rest in peace, Honey Pear Cider. It's in my club. So I don't know if you can see this, but it's starting to get these like little droplets on here. So, yeah, so that's what we're talking about when we're talking about sweating. So when you have your bar, if you see it starting to sweat, make sure it is stored in a cool place. I know you said you are, and that it's stored flat. So you will see I have a bar wall back here. I'm going to talk about that. I get so many comments saying, you're not supposed to store your bars that way. It's fine. I check these on a very regular basis. If they are even remotely starting to get glossy or sweaty, they come off of the pegboard and they come into my basket here. So we're going to talk about how I store and all of that. But don't worry about these bars. They're perfectly safe. I check on them daily. So don't worry about that. But yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why it's happening more frequently now. I wish I knew. But I mean, like I said, I'm still getting the same performance from the wax, so that's why I'm not really throwing a fit. I just keep an eye on the wax and then move them if need be. So yeah, I guess just keep doing what you're doing. I don't think you need to refrigerate them. I think you actually asked if you need to refrigerate them. You don't need to refrigerate them. I think just keeping them in a cool, dry place, that's going to be the biggest thing, and make sure that they're stored flat. And then it's kind of a mess when you do like break them apart and like put it into your warmers, but it's going to warm exactly the same. You should get the same exact performance. So I hope that helps, kind of, sort of. Okay, next question here. Oh no, this is still from Vicky. I opened up the rest of it. I don't leave the AC on 24/7. Do you recommend anything be stored in the refrigerator for the wax? And by storing it in the fridge, does it reduce or affect the performance? If you want to store them in the refrigerator, you can. I've heard of some people doing that. I would say don't. I just feel I have a weird thing with storing fragrance, like wax in with food, because I feel like it's going to affect the food. It's not going to affect your wax. If you want to do that, I actually have a friend who actually has a mini fridge specifically for her bars. And I'm like, you are my spirit animal. So if you wanted to do that, you can, but I would like designate a specific like unit or something. Even like if you want to save some like ice packs and stuff from Scentsy, freeze them and then, you know, throw them in a bin and change it out every few days. You can do that too. I don't do that. I just store them flat and it seems fine. So you don't have to refrigerate them. It doesn't affect the performance. If you want to, you can. Either way, it does not affect the performance, so you should be fine. Okay, next one. Michelle says, enjoy the Q&A. I have maybe a strange question. Bring it. I love strange questions. Interested, let me see here. Do you find that wax performs better on the second day if you don't turn your warmers off versus turning them on the second day? I don't. I actually, for me personally, I feel like, and I can't believe I'm even saying this, I actually feel like I get better performance, and I can't believe I'm saying this, when I turn them off, like at night, when I'm not like in specific areas of the house. So like when I go downstairs for the afternoon or evening, I'm going to turn all of these warmers off, all the warmers off upstairs, and I will go downstairs because I'm done for being upstairs for the night until I come upstairs to go to bed. The downstairs warmers, those stay on 24/7, but I do find that I get better strength by turning them off than when I turn them on, or when I have them on 24/7. And I think it's just because like it gives the wax a break and then it solidifies and then you're turning it back on. So you're saving all those hours of use and fragrance when you're not actually in the room to enjoy it. I will say, so because I don't come in this room like a million times a day or anything like that. So we have like a couple upstairs that do stay on. So the one that's at the top, I'm gonna do a warmer tour soon, I promise. So you will know exactly what I'm talking about. We've got a warmer at the very top of the stairs. That one pretty much stays on 24/7. So it's nice if I'm coming upstairs to grab something, then I get that little like hit of fragrance, which is nice. And then downstairs, I'm pretty much, those are all on like 24/7. But then if I'm gonna be working upstairs for a bit, I'll turn on all the warmers in here, all the warmers in the bedroom, I'll leave those on from the night, and then I'll have all the warmers on in the office. So then it's just kind of like wafting through the upstairs, which is really nice. But then if I'm not going to be up here for a few hours, then I'll turn them all off. So okay, I hope that helps. And also leave a comment what your opinion is on that, because I know it really does depend on the person. But I feel like I tend to go nose blind faster if I leave my warmers on 24/7. So that way, if I turn it off, give my sniffer a break, change the type of scent that I'm smelling, and then when I go to turn it on again, then I can smell it even better. So I hope that helps. Let me see here. Okay, next one. Let's see here. Victoria, hi girlfriend. She says, if Scentsy was to bring out a new product, what would you choose? Mine would be shampoo and conditioner. Okay, I would love shampoo and conditioner, except I will be the first to tell you I am so picky when it comes to my hair products. So picky. So I would say if they could make the perfect shampoo and conditioner, then absolutely I would be so on board for it. Oh, could you imagine? That would be amazing. That would be fantastic. But I just feel like for me, knowing how picky I am with my shampoo and conditioner, I probably wouldn't like it. So then I'd be like super bummed out that other people could enjoy it and I wouldn't. So it's not really a new product, but a product they don't have anymore, and that is hand sanitizer. I wish we brought back hand sanitizer. I really enjoyed our hand sanitizer. It was really, really nice. I don't know why we stopped. It was back when we had the layers line. So I really enjoyed our hand sanitizer. So I would bring that back. Okay, next one. You probably already know this by now, but I just wanted to address it anyway. Do you have any idea when the purifier is going to come back? It's back. It's back. The replacement filters are still not available, but you can just buy the same HEPA H13 filter on Amazon. So you should be fine. But the air purifier itself is back in stock, and it comes with a filter, so you're good to go to start out. Let me see here. Stephanie says, can you use a glass dish with a ceramic warmer? My retired warmer I bought has a broken dish. Can't get it anymore. Thanks for the info. So Stephanie, let me know. Send me an email. Let me know which warmer it is, because there are some replacement dishes. And even if you don't see it online, it may be something that's available for consultants to contact home office and see if it's available for us to purchase, like on the down low. We can purchase it, because like there's like the Vino warmer, the warmers that have like the glass sleeves inside. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them, like you can buy the replacement glass inserts, but you just have to contact support. So let me know. I'm happy to help get you like set up with that, but I just figured I would show you like an example. So this is a ceramic warmer, and I was like, well, let me give it a try. And I figured it would be pretty simple, and it is. So this is actually the warmer dish that it comes with, which is ceramic, which by the way, look for a new video probably early next week. You'll see that this is like pretty well stained. It was funny. I was changing out the dish. I wanted to get a video up to show you how to remove the stains on your warmer dishes, because during the fall and winter season it happens so much. So I want to show you how to remove them, but I just haven't had any like really stained dishes lately. So because I stay on top of cleaning them, so I saw this and I was like, score, stained dish. So I love that. But yeah, so this is actually the glass. This is just our standard like glass, large glass dish. So bink, it works just the same, and you may actually like it better depending on the warmer that you have, because if you get a glass dish, it's actually going to allow a little bit more glow from the top that you don't get from the ceramic dish. So you may really like it. So if you need help, just let me know. Shoot me an email. I'm happy to get you set up with the right dish. Okie dokie. Let me see here, because pretty much most of the warmer dishes are pretty universal. It depends. I was even playing around with the glisten warmer back here. I was like playing around with some different like sized warmers, and it totally works. So it may not work for everything, but depending on the warmer, we'll have a dish for you. One way or another, we will have a dish for you. Okay, next question. Sherry asked, do you ever go nose blind? So I think I kind of just touched on that. Yes, I do. So I will notice if I am warming like a ton of bakery or a ton of fruity, if I'm warming a lot of the same type of scent for several days, I will start to go nose blind, and I'm like, I don't smell this, but I know it was strong before. So then I know, okay, I need to change the type of scent I'm warming. So if I'm warming the heavy bakery, then maybe I should do something more fruity or something more clean to kind of cleanse my palate, cleanse my nose palate, if you will. And then it's fine after that. So that's why it's a good idea to keep like a variety of different types of scents on hand, so that way you don't go nose blind. Let's see here. Belinda asks, when will the needed filters be available for the air purifier? It's still to be determined, so I'm sorry. I wish I could give you guys a date, but I don't have a date. So, all right, now let's hop over to the emails that came in. Okay, so let's see here. And I apologize if this one, I moved this over to, I've got like a Q&A folder, and this was from July, so I don't think I answered this one. I don't think I answered this one. So I apologize if I already answered it. So let's see here. So this question is from Jana, and my question is, how do you organize and store all of your bars? Have you ever totaled up how many bars you have? I know you have many displayed on your wall, but that can't possibly be all of them. Nope, it's not. My club alone overwhelms me. I can't go through wax fast enough and am in a bind of how to store them. Any suggestions? So yes, and I have my handy dandy basket right here. So you will see, so in these baskets that are, well, not there, but in these baskets that are behind me from IKEA, and even in some of these drawers, I have bars. So everything that's on my wall are just some of the bars that I have that aren't sweaty. So I'm looking at them. I have more bars than this that are not sweaty, but these are the ones that I monitor on a very regular basis. I have had people ask, do you have a rhyme or reason for why your bars are stored that way? There is no rhyme or reason. It's just, and you'll see like in the beginning when I first had my bar wall, it was just all mixed mashed together. And then I went over to my mother-in-law's house, and she has a bar wall, and it was all like rainbow, and it was color coordinated, and I was like, ooh, I love that. So that's the only rhyme or reason to it. That's not like bakery, fruity. Nope, it's just by color. So, and then the only other thing is that like right here, these are just licensed bars, like at the very end. So that's the rhyme and reason to that. But in the baskets that are behind me here, with the exception of what I've been warming basket, my empties basket, I will, don't fall apart. I mean, the bars like to fall through. Okay, so I will keep them in these baskets here, and I do organize them by category, by scent category. And the reason for that is just in case they start to like mix and mingle in scents, which I've noticed since I am organizing them this way, they're not all like starting to smell the same. It used to be, I used to store my bars in a closed plastic container, and that's like the worst possible thing you can do. And the reason why I'm saying that is because when you close it up, there's no air that's filtering through that, and all the bars start to smell the same. It doesn't matter if they're all fruity, it doesn't matter. They all start to smell the same. Like no one smells different. They all just smell like a combination of each other. And so I stopped storing them that way, and I would use the same container but just keep the lid open, and I noticed that really helped. So as long as there's some kind of airflow, so being that this is a basket, it's a woven basket, and the top is open, even though they're in my cubes, there's still some airflow in there. So I haven't had any issues since I've been storing them this way or in like other baskets and stuff. So as long as there's some kind of airflow that's getting in, it's fine. And then like I said, I like to store them kind of categorized by what scent category they're in. So I have my fruity basket, I've got my bakery basket, I've got a spicy basket, and I've got like an earthy basket where all of my like Christmas tree type scents or like, you know, just earthy. So that way those can all stay together. And then floral. So that way, like I said, if for whatever reason the scents they start to mix and mingle, if there's not enough airflow, at least it's all the same type of scent. So I hope that helps. So if you are storing them in any kind of a bin, just make sure the lid is open so that way there's some airflow. That way all your bars don't turn out smelling the same. Let me see. And I have no idea how many bars I have. I have no idea how many bars I have. In fact, I know somebody else had asked this on the vlog Q&A, and I was like, I have no clue. I don't even want to know, to be honest. Okay, so thank you so much, Jana. All right. Next one is from Rachel. And so she asks, some of my questions, can you go through your favorite smells in the pet products and how, when you use them, such as Freshen Up Pup, which is the dog deodorizing spray, No Knot Spot dog detangling spray, and then of course we've got the pet shampoo. So I have one of each scent. I have a product at least in one of each scent. I do have my favorites. I will say, so with the dog detangling spray, I'll tell you honestly, we really don't use it that much. We don't really have a need for it per se because our dogs don't have super long hair. We did have a long hair German Shepherd before, and I would have loved to use this on her. But really for us, we don't really need it that much. I mean, I've sprayed it on, I mean, I've got it, so I'll spray it, I'll use it, but it doesn't feel any different than if we don't use it. So I've got the No Knot Spot detangling spray and the oatmeal and aloe, and as well as the sweet pea and shea. Out of these, I prefer the sweet pea and shea because I can smell it. Oatmeal and aloe, I can't smell. So I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm spraying this for nothing and I smell nothing. This is great. So, not honestly, I may wind up just tossing that, but I feel bad just tossing stuff. So I don't know. I can't smell it. I can't smell it. Maybe I'll have to give it to a friend who is like really sensitive to smells because I just can't smell it. Okay, the other products that I have and my favorites. So the Best Buds Suds. So I have it in honey and chamomile. I have it in sweet pea and shea, coconut milk and lavender, as well as orange zest and nectar. We have used all of these. It drives Sean crazy that I like to open things. I have a habit of like opening things without finishing something before. I have to know what stuff smells like. I need to be able, that way I can share with you some hits and misses. So honey and chamomile absolutely takes the cake. I love it. This is incredible. It's just a good, sweet, clean scent. And I love it. It's amazing. It's absolutely by far my favorite scent in the pet line for all the things. A very, very close second is Sweet Pea and Shea, and this is wonderful. Ranger loved it too. He smelled like a flower. It's so good. I love it. I love it. Once again, I love this. If all of the products, I would absolutely choose honey and chamomile and sweet pea and shea. These would be my two go-tos. If I had to only choose one, it would be the honey and chamomile, but both of these are so good. So good. Okay. Coconut milk and lavender and orange zest and nectar. Can't smell them. Can't smell them. So I'm gonna use them because it's a great shampoo. German Shepherds are kind of known for skin allergies, and my pups do just great with these. So it's a great formulation. Leaves them very clean, very shiny. So I do love the product. I just wish I could smell the other two better. So I just feel like I'm not really gonna reach for these as much because the other two smell so much better, but I'm gonna use them. I will use them. And then the deodorizing spray I have in honey and chamomile, sweet pea and shea, and I have no idea why. This had to have come in a kit or something for consultants because I never would have purchased this. Tea tree and peppermint, and I can honestly tell you I'm not going to use this. I haven't used this. I don't like the way peppermint smells. I don't want my dog to smell like toothpaste. Not only that, but our vet recommends to stay away from tea tree oils and things. So I'm assuming this doesn't have like actual tea tree oil in it because it's not good for dogs. So that's just what my vet recommends. So if you're curious about something, an ingredient or something, definitely consult your veterinary professional. But I just don't really care for the way this smells anyway. So I have it, but I haven't used it. So there's that. I hope that helps. As far as how or when, so it really just depends on what all we're doing. Our dogs don't really get that stinky because they stay inside. They're inside dogs. They only go outside for walks and to go to the bathroom. So, but if like we go to the beach, or something, then, you know, when we come home, they're getting a bath, you know? So it depends on what all we're doing. If we go to the dog park or something, they're gonna get a bath. But if it's just like been a few weeks and it's just been boring, they've just been inside not doing anything or just going on their regular walks and it hasn't been super crazy, you know, we'll go a few weeks. If there has been nothing, then what we look as indications, because they really don't smell bad, if they start to itch a lot, then we know they're getting dirty, so we know that they need a bath. So that's kind of the indication. So your dog will kind of tell you when they need a bath, so kind of, I guess, stay in tune to those like signs. So thanks so much, Rachel. Next one here, we are kind of finishing up here. So thanks so much for hanging out with me. I know this is a long video. I always am like, it's not gonna be that long. I talk too much. I'm sorry, you guys. Okay, so this is from our friend Shelly. One thing I'm curious about, Scentsy's rule about not allowing us to increase the quantity of bars in our club when it's retired or discontinued. Has the company ever given you the reason for that? I understand if they don't allow it during the 10-day processing time, but what is their reason for not allowing us to add prior to that? It seems it would really benefit them and consultants, plus for us, if we are seasonal warmers, we might want certain scents in higher or lower quantities in certain seasons. For example, wanting 3 or 4 bars of pumpkin scent in the fall and then going down to just 1 bar of it in the spring. The only logical reason I can come up with is to prevent people from buying a lot and reselling. I don't know, I'm just curious if you've ever heard of anything on this topic. I haven't heard anything on this topic. That does make me curious though. I do have a Scentsy Club contact that I think I kind of want to ask about that. So if I get an answer from him, I'll kind of do a follow-up Q&A to this particular question. But my thought is exactly that. Like, Scentsy really struggles with not only consultants, but people who will buy products and then sell it on third-party selling sites. And that is, for Scentsy, for basically all direct selling, it's a huge no-no, huge no-no. If you see Scentsy on Mercari or eBay, even if you see it on Amazon, that is a huge no-no. So you're basically buying on the black market. And a lot of times it's marked up. You have no idea what kind of condition it's in. Because if it's bars or things that you're buying, you have no idea how old those are. You have no idea how they were stored. I had a customer who was like, let's just say very Perry pumpkin, because you know what? At this point, I would buy it on the black market. But no, I had a customer who bought a boatload of bars of like her favorite scent, and she got it. And she was like, they all smell rancid. She's like, they're discolored and they don't smell right. They smell very rancid, like a chemical. And I met up with her and I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, this is not, this is not right. And they were definitely discolored. So I don't know if they were stored in the garage or what, but so you don't know what you're getting on those other sites. So I know there are some consultants that just don't know. And so they'll say, oh, well, I have a bunch of overstock, so I'm going to sell it on eBay or Mercari or wherever, just so that I can get rid of it. But that's, yeah, you can't do that. So I think you are right in thinking that, you know, because they struggle with consultants already selling their overstock on these other sites. So, and it's like Scentsy has a whole like third party that just skims like third party selling sites to find consultants who are doing that, because it's a huge no-no. So I hope that helps. It doesn't help because I didn't give you an answer. I think you're right, but I do want to get in contact with my contact with Scentsy Club and just find out if I can get any like further confirmation to that. So I'm going to leave your question in my folder so that way I know to like revisit that. Okay, this is from our friend Ari. And she says, Lisa, what is your favorite Scentsy buddy? I meant to bring him up here. It's the German Shepherd. I love the German Shepherd. If not the German Shepherd, Poppy the bear. I think that was her name. I named her Poppy. I love those two. They're my absolute favorite for some obvious reasons with the with the German Shepherd, of course, but with Poppy the bear, it reminds me of my dad. So that's my favorite too. Anytime that there are veterans that are outside asking for donations and they give you a poppy, like he was always like, make sure if you ever see a veteran with giving out poppies, make sure you give them a good donation and make sure you bring me home a poppy. So that always reminds me of my dad. Let's see here. 2, I would love a bring back my warmer. What warmer or warmers would you choose? Oh, I should have read this question before. I forgot about this question. I'm gonna have to come back to that. I'm gonna save this one for the next Q&A because that's a really good one. We've had some really gorgeous warmers, you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna come back to you on that one. Let me see here. Has there ever been a scent, has there ever been a scent or scents you never see on Bring Back My Bar voting? I always want to see Churro Churro and Saint Nickerdoodle, never see them. I have also only seen Nashi Nectar a couple of times. It was my consultant's favorite, but out years ago, so I have no idea what it smells like. Nashi Nectar was really good. That was a really good, like fruity, really good fruity scent. I do wish Churro Churro would come back. It's in my club, but I only have 1 bar of it, so I really don't warm it that much because I like it for a mixture, and yeah, Saint Nickerdoodle is also another really great one I would love to see come back. Very Perry Pumpkin, I would love to see come back. To be totally honest, like I wish Scentsy would do, and I am glad that they do come back with some regular favorites like Happy Birthday, Banana Nut Bread, those that typically tend to come back. I am glad that they do because people who are newer to Scentsy don't have a chance to give those scents a try, right? So, but I wish they would do one Bring Back My Bar that had like, it has to be all scents that have like never been voted back for Bring Back My Bar. Bring Back My Bar specifically. So I think that would be super cool. So not even within like a certain time frame, but like have never been voted back for Bring Back My Bar. I'm here for that. I'm not saying every single time. I don't want to see some rank scents coming back. Like there's some that deserve to just stay retired, but I would love like maybe 1 round of like just all scents that have never been voted back for Bring Back My Bar. So I don't know. Maybe I'll share it in the idea share. Not sure it'll go anywhere, but and then number 4, with the illness you're facing with your periods. So for anyone who doesn't watch the vlogs, I won't go into too much detail, but I'm waiting for a hysterectomy. I struggle with what we think is endometriosis, but I have not had surgery to confirm it is endometriosis. I just know that I have been in a severe amount of pain for over a year now. So they could call me tomorrow and say, you're ready to go in for your hysterectomy next week. I am on the list. I'm just waiting to have my hysterectomy done. So we'll see. I am planning on vlogging with that and sharing. I mean, I share everything else here. So that's just going to be a whole chapter that I have no idea what I'm going into. So I feel like, well, I've got some ideas. Like I've done my research. I've talked to my doctor and my surgeon. So like I've got an idea, but obviously like since I haven't gone through that before, like it's just going to be a whole new chapter. So I plan on documenting it and sharing it. It'll be its own series. It's not going to be, what am I warming while I'm healing? Like it's not, so if people are not interested in it, you'll know to just skip over those videos. But how does it affect you working from home? I know you make your own hours and your own schedule and you make it what you want, but for any other person that has a chronic illness or disability, is there any advice or quirks or anything that you can talk about? So the biggest thing for me, I think I feel like I'm kind of hard on myself and I really try to push through the pain a lot of times. I will say the last couple months have been so much better because I am on a medication that has completely eliminated, well, not completely. It has eliminated, for the most part, my cramps and has completely eliminated my periods. Now, with that, there are side effects. So I know some people may be like, well, don't get the hysterectomy and just stay on this medication. But there are some side effects that I am not loving about this particular medication. And I don't need the parts. So my husband and I are not having children, so I don't need the parts. So And not only that, but they have found a mass on one of my ovaries and a lesion on my uterus. So it's time to go. So I just feel like it can just be gone. Just take it. Just take it all out. But with the pain, I would, when I could, I would just push through and just like get in my mind about like, you're stronger than this, you're better than this. And what I would always say is like, what happened like 100 million years ago when you didn't have medication? Like, women still had to just push through this and continue on, like carrying on with their life. So that's kind of like, I kind of give myself a pep talk kind of. I don't like taking medication, but, and it was to the point where I was getting sick because the pain was so much. So even if I was taking medication, I was getting sick. So the medication wasn't absorbing into my body and it wasn't helping. So, I guess I just would give myself the pep talks. Heating pads, tea would really help me. And I think the tea is a mental thing, but there's just something very comforting about drinking some hot tea, and I feel like it would just warm my core and I would just push through it. And if you're just having a really bad day, to just call it a really bad day and chalk it up to a really bad day and not try to push through. I felt like if I could, I would, but on those days where like I was getting sick or it was really, really bad, then I just knew I'm down for the day. So I'm sorry. It just is what it is. And, Sean is absolutely amazing and he does everything that he can for me. She's like, what do you need? Like, tell me, do you need to go to the hospital? I can't tell you how many times he's like, do I need to take you to the hospital? Like, they can't do anything for me. So, I think having a support system is really helpful if you've got any family members that can maybe help you. So whether it's, can you make dinner tonight, or can you call for a pizza? Can you just help me by being there and just, take the dogs out, take the trash out? Can you just help me a little bit? I think that's the hard thing for a lot of people, is to admit you need help. So admit that you need the help. I'm super stubborn as well. Like I said, I'll get in my own head and say, you have to push through, but you have to realize at some point, just take the help. So, because when it does come time for surgery, I'm going to need the help. So I'm going to need the help for several weeks. So I think it's just knowing your limits, knowing when to ask for help, knowing when to stop. So, if you're making yourself sick because you feel like crap, that's not the day to be answering emails and things like that. Like, you have to pay attention to your body and listen to your body and what it needs. So I hope that helps. But like I said, a lot of times I just kind of push through, but you just do need to listen to your body though too. Let me see here. Would you want Scentsy to come back with their groom line and hand sanitizer? Yes. I would love them to come back with that stuff. Did Sean ever use the groom line items? What did he like? He never used the groom line items because he's got really sensitive skin. So he was kind of, I think, worried to try it, but I did. I used it for shaving. I was like, it's great. So I really enjoyed the groom line. I thought it was amazing. And the hand sanitizer, I would love to see come back. Let me see here. And then last question here. What are your all-time favorite top 10 scents? I know you will probably put Simply Vanilla as number 1. So there you go. We went over that. Whew, you guys, it's a long one. I'm sorry. I think, we don't have that many questions. I can totally not have this be crazy long, but here we are. It's okay. This is just a chit chat type video. I hope you like it. I know this is long, you guys. Thank you. Thank you so much for submitting your questions. If you have questions you want me to answer in the next Q&A, feel free to either leave a comment down below in this video, or you can send it to my email personally at lmrowberry@gmail.com. Like I said, I'm a total open book. I'm totally transparent. I'm happy to share anything that I can with you guys. So if you have questions, just let me know. This is kind of fun. I do feel like this is just like a chit chat, hanging with my friends kind of video, and I really like that. So if you're new here, thank you so much for watching. If you stayed for the whole time, thank you. If you are new, please subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell. That way you stay up to date with all things, well, Scentsy and apparently my personal life. Like I said, I'm totally transparent. I mean, I'm the one putting it on the internet. I already told you I'm gonna put my whole like hysterectomy journey on the internet as well. It's fine. My thought is that if it can help somebody else that may be feeling the same way or dealing with the same issues, just to know you're not alone, I feel like helps too. So yeah, if you're into that, go ahead and hit the notification bell. That way you stay up to date with everything that's going on here. So thank you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.